Smelling great on a budget. Those of you familiar with the channel, you know that's a thing I'm very big on, and I know a lot of you are as well. And today I want to discuss with you 10 fragrances that you can pick up for under $30 from either online discounters or rack stores like Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Ross, and Burlington. And I just feel like everybody should try these. Stay tuned. Starting with one that I haven't had for a very long time, but I fell in love with almost pretty much immediately. It's got a Versace Eros type of vibe with a dry pepper and a nice warm amber in the dry down. I'm talking about Guess 1981 Los Angeles. I picked this one up for $20 for a 100 milliliter bottle at Burlington not that long ago. And it's that vanilla mint bubblegummy type of vibe that Versace Eros is known for. But I would say this is more, if Versace Eros is known as the clubbing fragrance, this is more the evenings out type of version because it has that added spice to it and that warm amber. It's a bit more inviting, a little bit more seductive, still youthful and playful, nothing serious about it, but definitely a crowd pleaser that can garner some really nice attention for you from your lady, or if you're single and you're checking out the ladies, this is definitely an attractive aroma, and you can have it for really cheap. It's an average performer. It's nothing beast mode, but it's not too weak either. For 20 bucks, it's pretty hard to beat, and it's one that I feel like everybody should try, especially if you weren't necessarily a fan of Eros and you felt like it was missing something. Well, this might be that something, that extra pepper and amber in Guess 1981 Los Angeles. Next, I just recently saw this popping up again at the rack stores. It's really, really good for the spring, summer, and the early fall. It's kind of taking a freshie and putting a little twist on it with some gin and tonic and some more fresh, spicy qualities. It's Vince Camuto Homme, which in my opinion is the best. I haven't tried every single one of them, so I know that kind of rains hollow because I haven't tried every single Vince Camuto fragrance in the line. But Homme is really, really good. Like I said, gin and tonic type of smell with some citruses, a little bit of fresh, spicy quality. It's very juicy. It's a decent performer. It's not a very weak fragrance. Decent in projection, decent in longevity. 4 to 6 hours depending on your skin. Definitely projects pretty heavy in that first hour and a half. Then it starts to sit pretty close to the skin, as you would expect with a fragrance with this scent profile. But I'm telling you, it's underrated and slept on. Not a lot of people really talk about it in the community as a whole. Great for someone really starting out with their collection because it's never a bad time to smell fresh. And this is, I'm not going to say the most unique fresh fragrance out there, but it doesn't remind me of a bunch of different things like so many other fragrances have the tendency to do. And it's one that I feel like people should try for the money. I mean, 20 bucks will get you a 50 ml most places. 30, depending on where you find it, will get you a 100 milliliter bottle. And in my opinion, it's definitely worth trying. Vince Camuto Homme. 100 milliliter bottles and testers definitely tend to go in that $30 and below range, depending on where you find them. Very widely available, a very popular cheap fragrance, especially if you want some positive attention. It tends to do that. It's kind of a version of the original Invictus Aqua from 2016. I'm talking about Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. So even a little 1 ounce like this, you can get in the teens, low teens range. You can get it cheap. Pretty solid in projection, actually. It's very ozonic. It gets out in the air real easy and can have a pretty good reach to really grab somebody and pull them in. Strong compliment getter, very fresh, aquatic, has a little bit of a fizzy, effervescent quality with the way the grapefruit's done. Like I said, very similar to the original Invictus Aqua. Doesn't smell as much of the newer version, but the old frosted glass Invictus Aqua that was discontinued in only came out in 2016 and was discontinued that same year and is fetching a crazy amount of money. If you used to have a bottle of that and you're just looking for a good replacement, they don't really get much better than this one. It's extremely popular for very good reason. It's definitely the freshest of the line, minus the summer flankers that they haven't done in a while for the Legend line. Those were a little fresher, but this is definitely much more aquatic and definitely has a bit more staying power. And I feel like it's one that everybody should try. That's why it's in this video, because I can't really see too many people trying this and not ending up with a bottle. It's Mont Blanc Legend Spirit. Next, this is going to be getting a lot of use when it really heats up in the summer. It's the 2019 Summer Flanker for Calvin Klein CK1. So I just recently grabbed the 2020 Summer Flanker as well, but this one is just so mega fresh and aquatic, smooth and relaxing. It's got a tea note, some driftwood. It's very, very fresh, very, very, very fresh. Not a real strong fragrance as far as the performance and longevity and how heavy it's going to project, but you can go nuts and spray this one heavy. You can find them for 20 bucks. They're popping up at Burlington's. They pop up at Ross and Marshall's and TJ Maxx's as well. I have seen them there recently, but most recently at my local Burlington. 20 bucks will get you this 100 milliliter bottle. And this is one of those just always a good time to smell clean type of fragrances. You can, like I said, you can go nuts. You can spray this one super heavy, maybe not super heavy in the office, but it's one that I feel like everybody should try because for being so extremely fresh, it doesn't smell like every single other fragrance. It does have a little bit of a generic nature to it, don't get me wrong. But for 20 bucks, I feel like they don't get a whole lot fresher for the money. It's extreme. I can't stress enough the freshness, that crisp aspect that this has, and the dry down just gets better and better with that driftwood and that tea note. It's worth the 20 bucks in my opinion, and I feel like everybody should try one of the summer flankers from the CK1 line, and in my opinion 2019 is a very good one. Now this is definitely one of my absolute favorite cheap fragrances. It's my favorite in its own line. You can get a 100 milliliter bottle for $25 when they show up at the rack stores, a 50 milliliter bottle for $20. We're talking about Abercrombie & Fitch First Instinct together. It's basically, if you take the newer version of Invictus Aqua, the bottle that looks the same style, color scheme, 2018 to newer, you take that, you take YSL-Y, the Eau de Toilette, not the EDP. You take the original First Instinct, you take a lot of features and notes from each of those, you put it together, you get this. Not the strongest performer in longevity. I get about 5 hours on my skin, but in the first 2 hours, it projects really heavy. Oh man, I love the way this stuff smells, and it's really, really, really good in my opinion. Very synthetic, don't get me wrong. Nothing natural about this. Youthful, casual, nothing serious, but man, does it smell good. It pulls compliments. I love this one. I have multiple bottles of this one. I see it all the time. I have to stop myself from just grabbing too many bottles. And it's one that I keep bringing up from time to time because I really feel like people should give this one a chance, because if you're just looking for something that just flat out smells great, 20 bucks for a 50 ml, you cannot go wrong. $5 more will get you double the amount when you can find a 100 milliliter bottle. These 50 mls tend to pop up quite a bit. One I feel everybody should try and give a chance. First Instinct together. Next is one that I just recently started spending a lot of time with. I've been picking up a lot of Banana Republic fragrances from the Icon line at my local Burlington. Burlington's been kind of a gold mine for me lately on the cheapy gems. 20 bucks will get you a really nice Banana Republic fragrance. And if you like the Terre d'Hermès style fragrances, the orangey, slightly leather, vetiver type of fragrance, Cypress Cedar. That's going to be the one for you. And look, I'm not a real big fan of Terre d'Hermès, but I don't know, this one just, I find it a little bit more pleasant than Terre d'Hermès, and it's way, way cheaper. If you're looking for that style, that DNA, that scent profile, 20 bucks will get you a 75 ml bottle. That's a decent quality too. It doesn't smell overly synthetic. It doesn't smell like a $20 fragrance. It smells pretty much just like Terre d'Hermès. Maybe the quality's a little bit less than what you would get with Hermès, but I feel like everybody should try this one because I have several Banana Republic fragrances that I could have put in here that I feel like people should try. Oud Mosaic almost made it in this video because I feel like that's a really good cheap oud for people to try. But if I got to pick one from this line, I feel like Cypress Cedar will really handle that, you know, great work fragrance, yet still great with a t-shirt on your day off type of setting. Cypress Cedar, everybody should try this one in my opinion. Vacation in a bottle. It basically smells like a margarita. Tommy Bahama. Set Sail St. Bart's. Nordstrom racks. That's going to be the main place that I see bottles and bottles and bottles of all the time. They do pop up at Marshall's. They come and go, but I've noticed pretty much every time I've ever been to Nordstrom rack, I think every time, and multiple different ones in different states too, they have bottles. It's so good too. 20 bucks will get you a 100 milliliter bottle. This is an older bottle, so they don't look exactly like this anymore with the palm tree in the background. The font has changed a little bit, but the bottle's pretty much the same, the cap's the same, and the juice is the same. It's fresh lime. It's got this tequila note. It smells like a margarita on the rocks. It really does. It's very, very refreshing. It's actually a little warming from the boozy note that it has. It smells so good. It's one that you can spray like crazy. It's not a real strong performer, but it's one that's going to project pretty heavy for the, anywhere from 3 to 5 hours that this one's going to make it on your skin. Some people will get 2 to 3 hours, but even if you only get 2 to 3 hours for 20 bucks, you spray this one heavy, you're going to love the way you smell. This is one that's quite unique in my opinion. People often compare it to Creed Virgin Island Water. It gives the vibe, not the smell. Don't think you're getting a cheap alternative, a cheap clone of Creed Virgin Island Water. It's a good cheap alternative because it gives off the same vibe. It has that vacation in a bottle type of vibe, and it's one that I feel like everybody should try. For 20 bucks, you really cannot go wrong with Tommy Bahama Set Sail St. Bart's. So I actually do have another one from the CK1 line that I feel is a must-have. We did one, a must-have for the hot weather. Now this is kind of one that I feel like everybody should try for the cold weather. Of course, I'm talking about CK1 Shock. That beautiful, sweet, orangey, moist tobacco smell. Decent performer. You can get it really, really cheap. You can get a big 200 milliliter bottle for 30 bucks. 20 bucks will get you a 100 milliliter like this. I smell it in the air still. It smells so good. It's such a good beginner's tobacco. Just like I was saying a minute ago about Banana Republic Oud Mosaic's a great beginner's oud. In my opinion, it doesn't get much better to really dip your toe into tobacco. I feel like this is a must try. This will let you know if tobacco scents even really interest you, because this is a very, very safe tobacco scent in my opinion, and it just works great in the cold weather. It's playful, but has enough tobacco to make it dress up a little bit if you need it to. Great work fragrance for the cold, stuff like that. One that I feel like everybody should at least give a chance and try. For 20 bucks, you can get a 100 milliliter bottle, CK1 Shock. So this is one that is a fig fragrance. So if you don't like fig, you won't like this. But fig leaf, leather, it's fresh, and it's got one of the best atomizers in the game. We're talking about Sean John 3 AM. This is a 50 ml that I got unboxed on eBay for around $13. And then the other day at this same Burlington I mentioned earlier, I got a 100 milliliter bottle sealed for $13. You want to talk about a cheapy, gold, hidden gem, steal of a fragrance. Now look, not everybody's going to like it. As with all these fragrances, you're taking a chance, if you blind buy these, of not liking it. Because you're not going to like everything. Just because I like it doesn't mean you will. But for the $13 you're going to spend on anywhere from a 1 ounce to a 100 milliliter to a 3 ounce bottle, depending on where you find it, it's cheapy gold in my opinion. There's a lot of people out there that really enjoy the way this one smells. Not some super strong performer, but it does a great job for what it does, and especially for the price. It punches above its price point. This is another one I feel everybody should give a chance. It got a little bit of love last year in 2020. A lot of people really started pushing it to the forefront a bit more, of me being one of them. I still say everybody should at least try this one. Give it a chance. It might be the hidden gem you've been looking for. For less than $20, you definitely can get your hands on Sean John 3 AM. Last but not least, those of you that have been watching me for a while, you know I can't do a video with this topic without bringing up Salvatore Ferragamo ACQUA ESSENZIALE Blue. Is it for everybody? No. No fragrance is for everybody. Not one ever made. But man, I love this fragrance. It's still my favorite blue fragrance. I have a ton of blue fragrances. It's one of my favorite cheap fragrances. It's definitely my favorite more affordable blue fragrance, which would fall under the $40 category. But a 100 milliliter bottle is going to run you under $30. A 50 ml will run you in the $20 range like this. You can get gift sets in that $30 range. This is one I feel everybody should try. I've had so many people take my advice on this one, and the majority have been happy with it. Been so happy that I recommended it. Thank me for the recommendation. That makes me feel great. At the same time, I've had several people that it just did not work for, and that sucks. I hate that my recommendation didn't work out for some of you, but don't let what I'm saying sway you not to give it a chance, because if there's one fragrance in this video that I feel like everybody should at least try, just give it a chance. It's ACQUA ESSENZIALE Blue from Salvatore Ferragamo. My favorite blue fragrance, pretty much my favorite cheapie. It performs very well on my skin. It's versatile. It works in every season. T-shirt, you know, long sleeve, little thin hoodie like this, on up to a suit and tie. It just works. And for under 30 bucks, it's really hard to beat. The smaller the bottle, the more the savings. ACQUA ESSENZIALE Blue, Salvatore Ferragamo. Well, there's several other fragrances that could have went in this video, but I really wanted to narrow it down to the 10 that I feel you just really need to try, that are really showing up at these rack stores. So it's a lot easier to find them in person. Or worst case scenario, you can find them from discounters online, places like Kingdom Fragrances, which is linked below, FragranceNet, Fragrance X, all these, FragranceBuy.ca, all these great trusted discounters that have some phenomenal prices on some really good fragrances. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback and I love hearing from you guys. How many of these on this list have you tried already? Let me know, which ones are you fans of? Which ones do you not care for? I totally understand it. It's subjective. Not everybody's going to like every single one of these, but I'm hoping there's something here in this video that made you want to try one of these fragrances and it ends up really working out for you. I really hope it can work out for you. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any one of these 10 and you give them a spray now, I'm thinking there might be a chance you'll thank me later. Have a good one.